Hello my dear students, today I am going to take the schoolboy poem. This poem is written by William Blake. Already your syllabus have been completed online as well as in offline class. Once again you people are going to take a revision. So today I am going to take the schoolboy poem. The schoolboy poem says that about education systems. There are two types of educations. One is formal educations, another one is informal educations. Formal education says that the traditional schools, means traditional classes, that too taking under a tree on those days in 19th century. In 19th century, he was telling about because he belongs to the 19th century writer, who William Blake. And informal education is the student are interested. The students are the student is interested, more interested than school, outside of the school. Means outside of the school, more interested than school. Means outside of the schools, whatever the boy or girl has interested to do study independently, that is called informal education. See, William Blake was telling, what he says that the schoolboy is about the effect of formal educations on a person's life, and also he feels that the formal educations curbs a learner's potentials. Curbs learner potential, means stop there. Curbs means stop the learner's potential, which the formal educations. Why means later I will tell you. While I am explaining the poem. And he has opinion. The poet's opinion is that educations must cultivate the inner sense of students. Therefore, the students will be prepared for challenging life. It means in their future life, they have to face this challenging life. See, in this poem, the schoolboy finds school life is uninterested. The schoolboy finds a school life is uninterested because the schoolboy has different experiences, different joyful experiences from outside of the schools. They have a different joyful experience from outside of the school. It means that the student, especially around primary school or high school level, up to school level, the student has interested in nature, especially in summer month, that he was going to explain. See, now I am going to explain detail line by line and complete. Then tomorrow in next period I am going to give a summary, then 1 mark question, 4 mark questions, likewise. See, I will read the first, then I will explain. I love to rise in a summer morn when the birds sing on every tree, the distant huntsman winds his horn, and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what is sweet company. See here, the schoolboy likes to wake up on a beautiful morning, summer morning, when birds sings on every tree and distant huntsman means far away from that, from the forest, a huntsman blow his means horn means gun sound, and also the boy likes to sing with a scholar. Overall that he was saying that the boy feels what a sweet company when he was hearing all these sounds from the outside of his house when he was going to sleep in summer morn. Summer morn means in summer morning. In summer morning, the boys or girls, kids were sleeping a long day in the morning. At the time, they are hearing the sounds, different types of sounds, varieties of sounds from the trees, from the outside of the house, from the nature, because the boy loves a nature. When he loves a nature, then he was having an interest to hearing the sounds from the trees, what sounds are giving. There are different types of sounds. So like birds sing songs in every tree, distant huntsman blow his horn, and the boy likes to sing a song with the skylark bird. Then overall he feels that what a sweet company. What a sweet company. That first stanza says about the nature's life. Boy's interested life. Because he was interested in nature. That's in first stanza. In second stanza, see, when he goes to the second stanza, then what happen, what effects comes on his mind, we'll see here. But to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under a cruel eye outthrown, the little one spends the day in sighing and dismay. Oh, then at the times at drooping sit. See, but the very thought of going to schools, a boy, very thought of going to school, when the boys, the very thought of going to school, whatever he had a joyfulness or happiness, that has gone automatically from his mind. Means the joyful removed from his life or mind. As soon as he thought about the school, going to school, whatever he had a joyfulness, a joyful experience, that has been automatically removed from his life. What it drives, it drives all joy away. Means whatever he had a joyful experience, that has automatically driven from his life. Then he says that under a cruel eye told, the little one spends the day in a sighing and dismay. Why that? As soon as he thought about the school, going to school, then he was becoming sighing and dismay. Why he was becoming sighing and dismay? Because he was going to sit in a school under a cruel eye outward. Cruel eyes means a teacher. Who is cruel eye? Teacher. Teacher is the cruel eyes. Because they are having a strict rule. They are having a strict rule. They maintain the class with silence, a pin drop silence. In that situation, in that moment, a boy was sitting with the drooping with his body. With the drooping. With drooping means with bending. Because the boy never faced to the teacher's eye. Never faced his eyes to teacher's eyes. Because he was signing. Signing means the boy was become frustrated. Boy was become fear. Dismay means fear. Dismay means a fear, a frightened. He was fear. Due to that fear, he became frustrated, and he was going to sit in the class with drooping his body. Drooping means with bending his body and looking down only, because he was never eyes to eyes, never contact here his eyes to eye with the teacher, because they are cruel eyes. They are cruel means strict teacher. They are strict teachers. That's why a boy he feels that automatically, due to that strict rules, they become a signing and dismay and sitting with a drooping tender line, a drooping line. That it shows in the second stanza. Okay. See, next I'm going to third stanza. And spent many an energies hour, nor in my book can I take the delight, nor sit in the learning's bower, o'erthrow with the dreary soul. So, a poet was telling about a boy's life, how he was going to spend his life in an anarchist hour. Anarchist means hour means what? A restless life, from morning to till evening, continuous classes. One by one teachers are coming and taking the classes. It means that an anarchist hour. The boy spends many hours, many hours under a cruel eye, under a strict teacher. Then he was not sitting with a happiness. He nor in my book can he takes delight. Nor in book he was taking a delight, means not having a interested. Not having a interested. Under a cruel wise, he was going to spend many hours with anarchist, means restless, without means restless life. The restless means continuous classes are going on. When the continuous classes are going on under a strict teacher, under a strict rules, then automatically boys feels. The boy feels what kind of he has not given a interested in that book, in that class. Not only that, and not only that, in the given a delightful in the books, but also nor sit in a learning's bower. Learning's bower means here a poet expresses metaphorically. Metaphorical means just comparisons, just like that. Similarly. Bower means a school, school or a classroom. Just he was going to explain with the metaphorically. So, metaphor comes in the figures of speech. In that figures of speech, simile, metaphor, personifications. So 8 are there. In that one metaphoric means the similar. Looks like the metaphorically he used a words bower means school. Not he gives a delightful in the book. Also, he was not going to sit happily in that classroom. And he was saying that, o'erthrow with the dreary shore. See, what's going on in teaching, what's going on in taking the class, what their teachers are going to take a class, that classes has gone away from his mind. It means that the boy was having a tired from morning to till evening. When the class is going on continuously with under a strict rules, then automatically what teachers are going to teaching a lessons, about that lessons overthrow from his mind, because of the restless classes under a strict rule, under a cruel eyes. In that third stanza saying like that. In the fourth stanza, what he was telling that a poet was comparing with a bird. The poet was comparing to the boy with a bird. The poet was comparing to a boy with a bird. See, How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? Sit in a cage and sing. See, he was asking a question. Poet was asking questions about a boy. See, just compare. The boy is compared with a bird. See, how can a bird that is born for joy and that is born for joy, but we are keeping inside of the cage. Then how could it feels a happiness? How could the bird enjoy? Just think an example. When you are keeping under a four walls, like here, the boy was compared like a bird. See, the boy was sitting under a four walls and under the strict rules or cruel eyes, he was sitting there inside of the four walls. Then how could we enjoy his life in a classroom or outside of the classroom? That is the point. You have to think it. The poet was telling like that. So then, how can the child, when fears annoy that? Then when he was sitting inside of the four walls, then that feeling, that fear caused to him. Annoy means cause. That feeling caused to him. Because he was sitting inside of the four wall and he feels like that and he fears like that. See, but droops his tender wing. Then automatically, when he was going to live like that under a four walls, then automatically his life means his body become a bending. Drooping means bend. Tender wings means the body, the structures of the body automatically bend. When he was sitting inside of the four wall under strict rules, with a fear and signing and a dismay, then automatically his body became a drooping. The poet was telling like that about a formal education. The formal education means like that. So if you are given like this education in the small age, in beginning, then how could they enjoy in their future life? Then how can they face their challenge in their life? From beginning, if you are given like that much burden in their life, how could they grow freely or strongly? That is his question, that is his point. Who's a speaker point? Means the poet point is like that. See, the fifth stanza, in fifth stanza, he was going to compare with the plants. He was compared to the boy is compared with the plant. See, he was telling to his father and mother. The poet was telling to his father and mother about a plant. The boy is compared with the plants. If birds are nipped and blossoms blow away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day, by sorrows and cares dismay. See, in this stanza, the poet was comparing to the boy with the plants and telling to their fathers and mother, if birds are nipped means damage. Birds means mogu. Before flowers, from branch, what comes and before flower, that starting with the birds the mogu means who in the mogu. See, it different from the tender of life, from the tree of life. Then blossoms blown away. Who the elegant? Blossoms blown away. In that air, it blossoms. Because nipped, the broken from the plants, and nipped means whatever he has enjoyment, we people are making. Nowadays, we people are making stripped, nipped. The whatever his enjoyment life, we nipped. Then what should be there? A sadness life. In sadness life, will they grow? Would they grow strongly? Would they live happily? No, highly impossible. See, if just he was comparing to the boy with a plant. Means a plant has birds and flower and leaves and branches, then it looks beautiful and it looks greenery. Suppose if you have broken the birds at the beginning and leaf blossoms are blown away from the tree plants, then that plant looks beautiful? No, highly impossible. It not looks beautiful. So likewise here, from in boy's life, if you from at beginning if you are broken all his happiness, then how should he grow happily? How should he grow strongly? That is the point. We should think it. We shouldn't think about our boys. Think about the boy, a student, a girl. And if the tender plants are stripped, if the tender plants, tender means life, the plant's life, the body, the main structure, the main plant, the trunk of the plant. From the trunk of the plants, we removed, stripped means removed. Stripped means removed. What removed that? See, from the tender of plants, whatever the branches are there we have cut and removed from them. Means there only cut and removed. Then that tender of plant, it looks beauty, it looks greenery. No. So likewise, from at the beginning of the boy's life, at the beginning of the education of boy's life, if you are given cut their life, means you bounded under a strict rules, then how should they grow happily? So that is the point. We should think it about that. We should think it. That's why this type of syllabus is given to you people. You should understand it. In future, you have to give it like that, the freedom to your children, means to the children. You are telling to the parents. He was going to tell to the parents, like he was giving a message how to live, how to give, how to treat to their students, how to give a life, and how to give an education to their children. Each and everything was telling who? William Blake. See, of their joys in the springing day, of their joys in the springing day. Springing day in the growing day, in the youth day, in the beginning, in the growing day. Whatever they are having is joyful. That joyful by sorrows and cares dismay. We are broken their joys by the sorrows and cares dismay, by their fearness, by their sorrows and by fearness. We cut their happiness, joyful. Then how should they grow happily or strongly? That his question. Whose William Blake's question is like that. The last stanza I am going to explain and make off that class. Okay. See, last stanza what it says that how shall the summer rise in the joy? He was asking a question. In the last stanza he was asking questions, all questions. In summer days, how shall the summer rise in a joy? If like that, bounded under a strict rules. If you bounded under a strict rules, how shall the summer rise in a joyful? He was asking questions. Or the summer's fruits appear. See, if we people at beginning only bounded their life under a strict, then will they give a fruits in a summer day? Summer means a growing life, a youthful life. Youthful life. In youthful life, we give stopped their minds, we stopped their knowledge under the strict rules. Then will they give a fruits? Will they give a happiness? That is the questions. Or how shall we gather what griefs destroyed? How shall we gather what grief destroy? See, then how shall we? He was asking one more question. How shall we destroy the sadness, grief, a sadness life? How shall we destroy it? At beginning you have bounded like that. Then how shall we destroy in summer days like that? Never, highly impossible. Never destroy that problems, that sadness. When it comes from the beginning, it never destroyed in middle of the life. Never remove the sadness of the that problem lives. So it is our duty at beginning only we have to give them a happiness life. We have to give them enjoyable life. Then only they can live and growing with in a springing life. They can grow in a springing life with a happiness, with a joyfulness. If they springing in the springing life, if they grow a happiness and a joyful, then automatically it gives a fruits. Means automatically they give a fruits. Means to get to extract from them. He was telling. A poet was telling. See, last from two lines. See, or bless the mellowing ear. Mellowing ear means a softness, a pleasant. Mellowing means pleasant. Pleasant. Mellowing means pleasant. Pleasant means see then bless the mellowing ear. We have to bless. We have to give a bless. See, if they grow from the under strict rule, then how should we people bless them to live a happy life? No, highly impossible. Highly impossible. Because already at beginning only we cut their happy lives. We cut their joyfulness by the strict rules under cruel eyes. And they are living, they are growing, they are springing with their sighing and dismay, with the drooping of the tender life, with the drooping of their tender life. That's why we can't give a bless at the end. No, never. They can't live a happy life. They can't live a pleasant life. They can't live a softest life. Because already they are being a cause life, then how should we give like that? See, he was telling. When the blast of winter appeared, after summer, what it comes? Winter seasons. Winter season is old age. In the old age, the people are, if they are not strongly grown, strongly never grown, then automatically when it comes, when winter comes, then automatically started to shaking their bodies. They won't control. They won't control the cool weather. In the ice. They can't control because they won't live as strongly. That is the questions. So if you are given at the beginning like this life, then throughout in their life, they can't live a happily. They can't grow strongly. That is these questions. So what we have to do at beginning only, we have to give them with the freedom. Whatever they want, we have to provide. We have to look their interest, and according to their interest, we should provide. Then only, see one example. I will tell you: government school and convent schools. Government school students and convent school students. Just compare it. Just look it and compare it. Then the government school students are living with happily, with all enjoyment, with all joyfulness they are living. But in convent, no. They are doing because they are living under a strict rules from morning to till evening. And automatically the tender of life, it become a drooping. See, there, because rural students under the government school students who learn, their life is totally different, and who learn in the convents or in the missionary schools, means they are who lives under the cruel eyes, their life is totally different from the government school boys. So this is the difference. We should give, and we given like this, and we expect to give a fruits. Means how can they give a fruits? How can they give a expect from them? At beginning only, if you have cut their joyfulness, have cut their strongness, how should we expect? If you are given a beginningly happiness, joyfulness, and they grow with strongly or mentally strongly, then you can expect from them. Then it's okay. He was telling who will blame. So whatever it may be, whatever have been taught to you in this class, whether whatever it may you may have doubt, you may while I am taking a online class, means through direct online. At the time you may ask me questions whether whatever you have a doubt about your queries, I will make clarity. Okay, thank you very much.